Hello everyone. At times I enjoy making videos like this because they also keep me busy. I get to think clearly, so I'm glad I got to have this way while I'm driving. Okay, so I'll try to be loud in case you can't hear me well. I don't know how loud I really am, but yes, I just got a word as I'm driving right now about an ordained or someone coming back into your life. Let me just say ordained because obviously I'm going to say a lot of things here, but I just want somebody to understand that, because I'm convinced inside that some people here are going to witness someone who left you coming back. Okay, someone is going to begin to regret and come back into your life, ask for a second chance, apologize, and all these things. So I'm convinced some way somehow. So this is a word for preparation and on what to expect, as well as what not to fall for. Okay, because some people, they come in your life at a point where now you have moved on, where now you have began forgetting about it. You find that you were no longer there. You have started even to heal, especially that word, to heal. So that's one thing that you must understand what happens. And sometimes some people, they come genuinely and they mean everything, they apologize and things become okay. So you must know how to differentiate between these people. And some people, when they come back, maybe you start acting somehow and they start taking advantage again. So here are things that you must understand about people coming back into your life. Not everyone who comes back is most probably, how can I put it, ready to fix things. Some, they come back just because they want to check if they still have a room with you, because they are not so sure of where they at. They're not so sure if they're gonna last where they at, where they decided to live, or whomever they decided to leave you for. Okay, and then that those that it didn't work out where they were going, even if they were known with somebody else, but you find that someone thought, they needed some space. Some people are at the point where they just feel like they are tired of you. They just need their space, So when they do so, after a week or two or so, they realize life is boring, even more boring. They felt like having free is gonna do them better, but they begin to realize, you know what, I think it was better where I was. So you know what, let me just go back. So those are the things that people come back for. So the danger is with those who are just coming back to check. Okay, those are people whom, when they come back into your life, just that this is one thing that is it's much deeper and it's not that easy. I can't tell you really what to do, and it's not that easy, especially when you still love somebody or you appreciate somebody. Because some people, the moment you start acting stubborn, playing games, starting to make it hard for them, they easily just give up. And sometimes you begin to regret that, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And the next thing, now you are the one who's apologizing. Now when you apologize, they go back to the same thing. But you just must understand that whenever somebody comes back into your life, don't jump yet. Remember my words, okay? I'm sure some you might have already witnessed this or experienced what I'm talking about here. You find that someone comes, you get happy. Before you know it, 2-3 days after or a week after, they start acting up again. They leave you at again, So the thing is, they were not really ready, And the thing is, when someone is back for real, you will see. There are those, of course, who come back, they apologize. I think, to me, and I'm gonna tell you how come that person was so serious when they come back into my life, and why all these other times it will not be for real. Someone once, I shared this story before of a lady whom we once dated, then a week after she dumped me. And to me, I felt like she was the one, and only if we had given it a shot, that was the one. I could have married her. That was it. I felt like that was it, So after a week, that lady was having so many issues with herself, going through stuff and blah, 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 blah. So when she left me, she dumped me, then she felt she needed space to herself and all those things. And then I prayed about it and asked God, Lord, I was happy. I was even thankful to you that yes, I found someone. What's going on? But the lady, of course, after that time, after a month or so, we still spoke a little bit, but you could just tell that she does not want to give it another shot. Up until we started to even lose contact, you know. Then almost 2 years after, she came back out of the blue. We had spent even over a year without even talking period, no longer with each other on social media. Then out of the blue, she still had my contacts. She just texted me on my birthday, and then so from there we started texting, and then about a month later she ended up confessing that she wants me to take her back. And from there she even proved it that she wants to give it a shot this time around. And then indeed it worked better than before. We lasted for almost 3 months up until I did the dumping, you know, because I could just see that I was starting to even see things which I realized, you know what, I can't be with someone who's like this. And I even began to understand why we separated. I was like, God, indeed, He knows more than we do. When you separate from someone, don't blame and don't cry. God knows what He's doing. You might not understand at the time, but in the future you'll understand. You'll even be thankful. So even that's when I respected God even more. That, you know what, I spent almost 2 years crying and wondering, mourning this person, only for me to now be the one to pull the plug. We should learn to trust God. So yes, with her she became serious. It worked the second time around. Why? Because she had spent almost 2 years, meaning she had learned a lot of things. Compared me, I'm sure she had tried. It's just that she was someone who was kinda not wanting to expose or reveal what she was doing all those time. But deep down, I think I'm believing that she was busy with some other relationships. It never just worked out. But because she learned on how hard it can be to have a good guy like me and all, and she was no longer having options, she got to recall something, reminded her that, you know what, it's not like you can't find anyone good. You once had someone good, but you rejected him or you pushed him away. And she was like, you know what, let me just humble myself like the prodigal son. And she apologized. And that's why it worked. That's why it was a real relationship. I'm the one who was responsible the second time around, with no regrets, of course. So yes, some people, they need more time. That's why sometimes don't rush the process. If someone has not yet learned a lesson, after a month you just separated and someone wants to come back, most likely nothing has changed, but they need time. And it only takes different experiences to now make someone learn. Life is a learning lesson. Like the prodigal son, he learned a lesson after his money ran out. And it's not like immediately he went back to the father. The father taken him back or fetched him immediately. The money ran out. He would have left again thinking, you know what, I still had the option. I still had plans on how I was going to survive even without money, how I was going to regenerate. So likely the father never chased him until the prodigal son, tried to survive according to how he knows he can, or how he thinks he can, and he realized nothing is working, to the point where he was like, you know what, if nothing is working here, I'm in trouble. There's nothing now I can do beyond this, and I can't live like this. I have no any other options. Better I just go back, because other than this, there is nothing else is working for me. You get what I'm saying? So once a person gets to that point, that is when the realization comes. And God, I believe honestly that God also does play a role in making somebody remember. He's the one who also is capable of reminding somebody. So don't think it's a matter of games or you just playing psychology or what. But I believe when you are a prayerful person, God can remind that person, can put a thought into that person. But like, you see, do you remember? Because it's possible that someone might even remember someone else rather than you. Remember, you find that you are not the only person in their life. So it's easy for someone to, instead of remembering you, that person remembers someone else and try it with someone else. So keep praying about it. And when it happens, it's a more advantage when it takes long. And I know that you want it to happen now, but remember that whenever it's taking longer, like when you're baking something or cooking something, the longer it takes, that's how it's gonna be well cooked. So that's how it works. And I'm saying this way, and I declare and I declare, you're going to have what has been lost restored back to you. And of course, that's all I had for you in today's video. See you next time. Bye bye.